Hey everyone, welcome back after a few years here. First off, let me get this open. This is a closet I've never showed before. I would film some videos behind here, but I never showed this in particular. I'll just kind of go through some eye candy while I talk. I did move a while back. I haven't had the chance to move everything over. We're just renting an apartment while we figure out what areas we like and what we're going to do. Man, it's been a couple years, hasn't it? Um, I have been back in town a few times and thought about making something. What really spurred it on was clearing out some old emails and seeing some YouTube notifications from years ago. Man, some names I hadn't thought of in a while, like Crack Lotus and Lost Gamer, even McFly. Some of these emails are going back, probably back to 2016, 17, which it's hard to believe is so long ago now that it's 2025. It's unreal. Uh, Really haven't bought a lot. If you've seen my old pickup videos, I was getting 20, 30, 40 plus, making multi-part videos. Well, for a couple years there, I stopped buying almost everything. I did buy some stuff like down here. I maybe bought a dozen things in the last few years, and these were two of them. The Toomba, I remember renting this on the PlayStation 1 years back and enjoying it. And that's the collector's edition of SVC Chaos. It's an okay game. I just really like the art style. Also, the one of two bootleg MVS carts I bought on accident. Oh, but just seeing those old names reminded me of how fun it was to make videos back then and interact with people. And I don't get on social media much. Um, Last person I talked to, I believe, was Doom Waves on Facebook, and I don't get on Facebook. I don't even have my password for it, and I really don't like social media that much. I will pop on Instagram because my wife sends me reels constantly. So I see Rob, Champion 2D Rob on there posting a lot, so I'll like his stuff. Who else? On a retro tip, Pete. I see him pop up on there. I like his stuff. I try to be supportive of everyone. Still comment from time to time, but a lot of the people I watch just don't make videos anymore, and I can see why. You just kind of it's just not as fun as it used to be. You have so many video essays and stuff now. It feels like if you're not going to put 100 hours into a video, why bother? But when I look at something like this, it just reminds me of the good old days. Whenever I don't know, I just talk with like Doom Waves or Crack Lotus or somebody over Facebook, and we would just talk about what we were going to collect next because the prices were rising, so we would hop from Super Nintendo to Genesis to PlayStation 1, and people were selling collections, buying collections. Like this is Pete Snestastics, who I've seen pop up recently. Pretty cool. His copy of Street Fighter Alpha 2. I bought a bundle of Super Nintendo games from him years back. And even though I've sold so much, probably close to 200 games, that didn't make a dent in my collection. What you might notice here, though, is this is a collection of real. So this is a legit copy of Final Fantasy 3. And I was really big into repros back then. So this is a repro of Terra Enigma, since we never got it in the U.S., with a custom cart that has that'll play on U.S. systems, and box and artwork repro. Same thing with Secret of Mana 2. This one's really well done. But nowadays, with Steam Deck and RetroArch and all that, you don't need to do any of this stuff. Back then, I was modifying, having someone modify the EPROMs with the English translations on some of these games and getting custom boxes designed. Here's another custom one: is Front Mission Gun Hazard. One of these is really cool. Boston Burf, who got in a bit of an accident a while back. Sorry to see that. It looks like he's feeling better now. He gave me this Star Fox cart that had a bunch of different games on it, so I found this custom box for it, which I thought was really cool. And then Star Fox 2 got released on the Super Nintendo Mini anyway. This is a boxed copy of Bonk's Adventure. I remember getting off of eBay really cheap. Yeah, and the prices are just kind of crazy, which helped me because we know to move, I sold a lot, and I got great prices for stuff. eBay was kind of all right, not too much of a hassle. Most people were good on there, to be honest. If you're worried about selling, it's the fees are crazy, but the people in general are pretty nice. This is a pretty not extensive, but it's a varied Super Famicom collection. Only a few of these are repros, and it's the cart themselves. Like, for example, I have one over here that has yeah, here it is. So this is Live Alive, which of course has gotten an updated version on Switch. This is the Japanese version, but if you find the box in here, that's got an English translation EEPROM put on it. And like I said, I was doing this years back, even before Retro Freak came out and made it easier to do fan translations on hardware. So we have all sorts of stuff here. Final Fantasy, Super Les. This was one of the last things I got from a longtime seller I bought from. He gave it to me as a gift because I bought so much from him. This is a great little game I don't hear talked about a lot. Idono. It's a really fun platformer action game. It's really fast paced. I want to say Bahamut Lagoon is one of the ones that I had the English EEPROM put on that I didn't buy a double of, which was a mistake. After a while, I had the guy save the original EEPROM. So a few of these have those loose in there. So if I want to replace them, I can do that. That's a sealed Cosmic Fantasy 2. That's a Final Fight Sega CD edition, part 1. I mean, there's so much stuff in here. I've got to move it someday, but I don't know when we're going to get around to that. Took my wife quite a while to find a part-time job, back to being a librarian. Oh, these are all DS stuff, I guess. I'm still working remotely, and I'm coming in periodically for work. Try to find something local there, but nobody wants to pay much. And not just that, but the interview process is crazy now. I haven't had to go on the job market for so long. I'm sitting through 3 or 4 rounds of interviews before being told no. I was on the second round of one, and they told me that there were 5 more rounds to go. I thought that was absolutely insane and a giant waste of my time. I don't know. It is brutal out there. You know, obviously things are getting rockier now. So good luck to anyone, especially if you're younger and you're just getting in the job market. I am sorry because it sucks. But even if you have experience, just know that that's not helping. So I'm sitting here making the kind of money I want to make at my current job. I'm just kind of tired of traveling, and they're telling me no one pays that amount. And I'm telling them I'm making it right now. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, with my wife switching to part-time and insurance being so expensive, it's just become a giant pain. I would love to go through this more thoroughly, and I might actually do that one day when I finally box all this stuff up. I didn't bring anything with me. All I brought was my Steam Deck. That was an empty, what is that, Escape from Monkey Island box down there. All I brought was a Steam Deck, a very old laptop for work. Yeah, you got some 3DO right here. Long box. That's Sega Saturn down there. You can see Knights. That's Panzer Dragoon, Shining Wisdom, Viewpoint for the PlayStation 1, Guardian Wars. Over here, more Sega Saturn. Oh, that's a custom Castlevania 2 that puts all the quests in proper order. These are the non-EEPROM replaced Super Famicom. What do we got here? Jet Gunner Radio. Sealed copy of Zax 3 because there was a fan translation put out. In those cases, I wouldn't replace anything. I would just get the Mad Stalker. Just get the original copy. Gate of Thunder. This was a great purchase. And that speaks to retro gaming. I bought this for $8.99 when I got my Duo. It's been so long ago. I'm having a really hard time processing time. Like, I can't believe so much has passed since I've been on here. I think I started my my YouTube account in 2008, and since then so much has changed. So many people have come and gone. People have come back, then left again. It's hard to keep track of everything. But yeah, I wish it was kind of like everyone says. I wish it was how it was back then. And people were saying that in like 2015, but so many people have left since 2015. And that is now 10 years ago. That's back when we were playing Street Fighter 4 with another gaming podcast group. That was just, like I said, it is tough for me to wrap my brain around what all has changed. And I'm just old now. That's another thing, is a lot of us are just old. We started YouTube with no kids, and some of us have multiple kids. I don't have any, but most of my friends have at least one, if not more. It's mind-blowing to think that A lot of us were in college or just out of college when we started. And when we get that Monkey Island up, and now some of us have grandkids. I never thought I'd be around YouTube that long. I don't know when I'll get around to posting next. Because to be honest, this is just a fraction of my stuff. This is really nothing. I, Collecting was so fun for so long. And I read younger people on Reddit who are trying to get into collecting now, and they're having such a hard time. And they talk about like how was it really that good back then? And yes, it was. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to tell you, but you can see by the variety here that it really was that good back then. These were discount. I was getting these Super Famicom games in lots for $20 for 20 of them. And I'm sure if you go to Japan now, you can still get those prices, but shipping has shot up through the roof. But even then, something like this Ranger X is probably triple what I paid. It's just, I feel for them when they try to get in on it and they can only afford like one Sega Saturn game at a time when, I was buying bundles of them for nothing. Oh man, the good old days. Nothing much you can do about it. The Switch 2 got announced. That's incredibly expensive. I can't imagine I'm going to be buying that. This last generation was probably the least played generation I've ever gone through. I played the Xbox Game Pass a lot for the Series X, but those were older games. Like I played through Blue Dragon. For the PlayStation 5, it's just been Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Elden Ring are by far the most I've played on that. Not really much. Or when I had PS Plus, I was playing like Dark Cloud and just retro games. But like I said, all I brought with me was my Steam Deck. I brought that, and I brought one of my Switches. So I have that with a couple of games, which my wife's been playing. I have an Analog Pocket that my wife plays because she loves the older Game Boy games. And I just have my Steam Deck hooked up to an old VGA monitor where I play. I just beat Legend of Grimrock 1. I'm playing Part 2, playing Pillars of Eternity 2 now. Playing older PC games, going through the old Humble Bundle list that I've gotten Steam codes with. And every now and then I'll fire up RetroArch and I have some like a Sega Saturn USB controller. I have a PlayStation 1 and I'll play through a game like that. But for the most part, nothing modern is really holding my interest. And retro, it's either a pain to set up or it's too expensive. So I really just spend a lot of my time playing strategy games on Steam if I play anything. I'm old now, so I get tired easily. This is filled with collector's editions. I think both of those are PlayStation 4 games. Collector's editions for handhelds right here and right here. One of these has like boxed Nintendo games. I went through a bunch and sold it, and I ran out of time selling. So at some point, like I said, I'd love to catalog all this stuff because, there's so much here, and I'd love to do it before a storm blows it all away and I lose everything, which feels like that's just inevitable at this point. But this is just a quick check-in, seeing how everyone's doing, just saying hi. It's been a couple years, probably be a couple more. If I see you around on social media, I'll say hi. If not, just know, I miss chatting with everyone and just how fun it used to be and hanging around, Street Fighter 4 lobbies and just shooting the shit and practicing on the weekends for the next, mini tournament or whatever we had going on. Hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk.